Hello, this is Rebecca here, and today I am back with a video on a new series that I'm starting around Christmas time. I did a documenting the holidays, and so this time of the year it's summer, and I kind of view documentation of summer as kind of like I do Christmas. I go in with this attitude of wanting to make the most of it and do fun, adventurous things. I feel like it's the time of the year that, you know, school's not going on and those kind of things. Even though what I've learned in the past is I make up all these great ideas for myself or like for my family. And the issue here in Texas that I have is the heat. I know. I used to love the summertime. Bring on the sun, bring on the beach. But now, not so much. I call it age. No, but seriously, I do love summertime. I love to make the most of it. I love to make memories. And also just really try to enjoy the season. So I wanted to the first of my series is going to be 6 weeks. So this is week 1. I'm just going to like have these short little videos and kind of show you just different ways that I document my summer, and I hope that you're inspired to do something like this as well. And just so to say, you don't have to do extravagant vacations, or if you do, great, you know, that's wonderful. But there's like this year we're doing like staycations, because I know I've talked in my other video that we've been in the process of trying to sell our house, but now things have been kind of put on hold because now the house that we did have was sold. It's just a big, you know, buying, selling type deal. I'm not going to say nightmare, but sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so stressful. But anyway, it's summer, no stress, we're going to have fun, and that's what I'm here to document. So my this first week is called Choosing Your Journal, and I wanted to show you, I'm going a different route. I did watch just periodically a couple of YouTube videos, and a few people have gone the route that I'm going to go on, and so I thought, hey, I'm going to give it a try too and see if it works. Now, I also always have my personal journal that it's kind of like not necessarily documenting my family and things like that, but it's just documenting my life, and a lot of it, of course, includes my family because they are my focus. But on that note, I'll kind of go over with you what I'm thinking. So these are some that I pulled. I had a couple that were in storage, and I also had some up in the attic, but I didn't get up there, and I don't know where things are in storage. So these are the ones that I had here, and I thought I would just kind of show you real quick. So these two are very, very similar. They are done with this very heavy card. It's not cardstock. It's like almost like a chipboard. That's what it's made with, chipboard. And this was a family trip that we took in Port Aransas, and then this was one that me and my husband went on for one of our anniversaries. So as you can tell, these are done very similar in a lot of ways. And so I think now with the one that we did, I still notice I still need to do some journaling, which is pretty sad because it's been a while. So I'll kind of show you a little flip through of this 2011 family road trip that we did. So I basically just put a thick form of acetate, and I just made my own little journal slash scrapbook using these big rings here. And I used to do a lot of this type of journaling using the rings, but now I'm more inclined to go with like a traveler's notebook or something like that. So, but one of the cool things that I like to do is put in a map, so of the place that you're visiting. And for instance, this year we're doing more things locally, so I could pull a Texas map and put like the central Texas, or cut out a piece and mark it, or those kind of things. But I love that idea behind getting your map and then putting it out there. I also have these like scrapbook papers that have like maps on them, and especially if you're traveling, you know, around other than the U.S. or anything like that, I think these work out perfectly. But I love to include a map in my documentation. So that's just a little cute idea. And then I also like to sometimes include a calendar, and this is just tells when we were there and how long we were there. And this also made into like a little envelope that you can put. This was a map of Port Aransas when we went, but I just kind of put it in there. So really, in this particular scrapbook journal, I included daily writing, which I highly suggest. I love that idea. And then I picked up like postcards. This is different pieces of ephemera that I picked up from around town. Of course, lots of pictures of my kids and just little things that we did. But so yeah, so that's just, this is more like the scrapbook type ways of journaling your Christmas. And again, not Christmas, sorry. Journaling your summer. Do I have Christmas on the brain or what? But this really is, here's another one that I did lots of journaling. With this year being said that I'm doing more staycations type deal. I love that picture of Brazos. I hadn't seen that in a while. Oh, and she loved the chocolate fountain. She's been hooked on this ever since this visit. She's always like, does it have a chocolate fountain? But I think what I'm going to do this one year is really, I'm going a lot smaller scale. And so we played a game, so you know, we kind of can save little bits and pieces from little things that you do. Another form of journaling. But I think what I'm going to do is more and less on a smaller scale, and I'm going to try to combine. This is just one trip, which is great because then you can say this was our you know, our 2011 trip to the coast. But if you do more and less a multitude of different things, you wouldn't have it to this scale, I guess, so to speak. So I think if we were to ever go to like Disneyland, I would do something like this, because it would be something that I'd want a whole book on. But as far as like what we're doing this year, I would have a whole book for the summer, because it's going to be lots of little different day trips and those kind of things. And just real quick, it's very similar. Oh, that's right, because we had to drop Brazos off of my parents. So I was like, why is she, what happened there? But this is just little, oh, I love these. These are some of the little things that tags I made up. But again, same thing, lots of pictures, and then just a lot of little journaling pages in there. So this is one way form of documenting, is creating a booklet on your own. Now the next one I did was, this was a weekend trip with some girlfriends, and this just kind of ties here. And this is a piece of canvas that I sewed a piece of material on the back of, and then I just sewed these strings so that you can tie them. And then on the front page I did like a mixed media. I can see I did some paint right back here, some stamping of some paint, and then I took felt and I sewed the felt as a sun, and then I put Frisco, because that's where we went, was Frisco, Texas. So we visited a girlfriend up there. Again, this is a book dedicated to one event, and it was a weekend away. So that could be also something, you know, that, you know, like a Disneyland trip, or unless you live by Disneyland, it's just a day trip or something like that. But I do think that this is a fun way of documenting one memory of an event. But a lot of it, this is just kind of created like a junk journal. It has these little tidbits in here, and then I basically just put different size papers and lots of photos. So that's kind of how I created this one. Again, we went to a little antique mall, so I grabbed a little postcard from there. Lots of pictures. Oh, this was a button company in that mall, and it had a bumper sticker that said, honk if you love buttons. Of course I love buttons, so that was kind of fun, and I just took that and cut that up. But again, it's just creating. Here's a little, we stopped here and had lunch, so I just grabbed that ephemera piece. But that's it, yeah. So that's kind of another way of documenting, is creating another little book. Now this is more or less what I'm going to be doing this year. And this is a traveler's notebook. Let me see what year this was. I think this might have been last year's. This was last year's. So I took our whole summer and I basically put it in one book. So this was my way of, this is kind of what my plan is to do this one. There's, you know, it's more or less a journal, but it's based on your summer. So, yeah, so this is a junk journal. Bucket list. I'm very big on bucket lists. I'm going to talk about it more and less in the next video that I do. But I really just wanted to kind of show you, if you've been following me since last year, I might have done a little flip through of this also on YouTube. So, but this is just our summer. So, one journal, most of the summer. Let me see what it goes through. Oh yeah, school starting. I saw a picture. So literally, this was all 3 months, which really, usually a journal takes me about a month and a half to fill. So this probably was just dedicated to special events in the summer. So that was that part. So I wanted to show y'all this. I had bought several of these, which I love these. I bought these at Hobby Lobby, but they're just basically like another chipboard type scrapbook, and it comes with these and refillable pages in there. But these are great. They're really inexpensive, and what I like about these is that these you can create your own pattern. You can paint, you can put scrapbook paper down, you can put photos. So this, I love these. Actually, I have 2 of them. I typically try to do my Christmas, but as you can tell, I had 2 ideas, and again, I'm more inclined to do this because this fits in my purse, and I am a scrapbooker slash memory keeper on the spot versus like coming back. I wanted to show y'all a happy planner that I did, but again, I think that's in storage. I don't think I put it in there, but basically you can do the same idea with the happy planner. Let me get mine that I'm working on right now. Is if you wanted to document your say your summer, you have your June, and you literally can add sheets of the clear in here. Here's like this one you could add if you did like a weekend thing and put your photos in there, I'm sure. They have bigger ones, they have the smaller ones here, so that's definitely a way to document little events that come up. I love to do this idea with Easter. I think I have maybe one in here, or I'm in the process of doing Easter. Oh, here's one where I had the event that we did glamping with the Reset Girl. I wanted a special little insert without creating a whole different book, but I just put that in there as my memory keeping. So that's another form of choosing how you want to journal. Now, how I plan on journaling this year, you know, I love doing my little pictures. Excuse me, let's see if I can find a sample if you're not familiar with, here I got some up here that I'm not using, so I'll put these, I always save them. I print all sorts of pictures, but then sometimes I use them and sometimes I don't, so I'll just kind of save them over here and use them periodically. Let's see if I can find one. Okay, so here's one of me and my daughter being silly on Snapchat. So this is how I kind of print out my pictures, and sometimes I'll do some bigger ones too, but I usually do square photos, and then I also, this is what I use in my happy planner. So I think the way that I'm planning on documenting, this will be perfect for my little book. So going back to what I was talking about at the beginning, I went on to YouTube and I put it in travel journals, and several of them that came up were these field note size, and they're very small journals. These are actually not field notes. These are moleskin that I picked up from Staples, but they're very comparable to this size here. Now this size that I got, if you're not familiar with the Happy Marigold, she's an Etsy shop, and I buy a lot of her cute little journals. One, I use these all the time as wallets, even though I'm using something else right now, but in the past I've used these as wallets. And when I saw this cute little Explore Fedori, sorry, tongue-tied, Fedori on there, I just knew I had to have this for my summer. So, because my theme for summer is Explore. And so I took with the insert that she had It comes with 2 inserts in here. And I just took this out and I painted a little design on it, Adventured Weights. And then I kind of made it into a junk journal. I took the staples out and then I just added little bits and pieces in there just to, because I love to have the different scrapbook papers. I also covered this with a piece of wording scrapbook paper, and then this cute little envelope. I thought I could add little things in there. So basically this is what I plan on doing my journaling in. I also carry a standard size or a Cahir size for my personal journal, and so I also have those. But this is more for our spur of the moment, things we might not normally do. Like for instance, this past weekend we went out to a fly-in. I am in the aviation world for my day job, and so they had a fly-in out at one of the airports where different types of airplanes fly in. And so we went out there, which is something that normally we have never done before, but to me that was, let's go explore, let's have an adventure. And it was something that was local and interesting, and so it was really fun. So I'm going to put that in here. So anyway, that's kind of my plan, and we will see. We'll see what happens. So I think this will be perfect. If it's right in my bag, I can come in here, I can sit down at the spur of the moment, write out a little something really quick here, and be able to really document on the go, because I really feel like that's the key to success for me, is to be able to do it right then and there versus waiting, and then before you know it, a week goes by, 2 weeks go by, and those kind of things. So, but that's my ideas, and I hope you're inspired to maybe pull out a journal and document as well. I did want to say one more thing before I let you guys go, is my daughter bought me this for, made it for me for Mother's Day, and so it's a cute little, she put Wonderland because I love Alice in Wonderland, but she wanted to make a bracelet that we could add little charms on, not necessarily sterling silver, but make it a bulky, fun little charm for all our adventures this summer. So I just thought that was so fun and exciting, and I can't wait. She put a little pine cone because I love pine cones, and we also live in the pines, so I think that she also made one for her. So each little outing we go on, we're going to add a little charm on. So I can't wait to fill it up with fun little things, and I'll be sure to share with you guys. Well, thanks for watching, and I plan on uploading a video for the next 6 weeks on Sundays in reference to summer journaling. So stay tuned for some more inspiration. See you in my next video.